Jace, the Annie as well, but there is a ton of things open. Lennon, I can't believe it. We might get a Zeri game.
I love the Lee Sin ban towards Xiao Hao. Definitely a comfort for him, but something he can make stuff happen for himself. We'll see if AL want to go ahead and get this first pick. I feel like our first pick meta in the LPL has been very curious, but this is a pick that hasn't been making it through. And when it does, we always see it first pick typically. And if it's not, then usually the other team lost. So it is Nico first pick.
This is one of the most powerful, the most banned champion on this patch right now, and we are just giving away power picks left and right. I was surprised to see Cassante taken away from ZDZ so early on, but immediately now, anyone wants to get the Nico like you were saying, but JDG, no.
He's summoning the spirit of Uzi to the game. Make sure that AL have some strength for Jitoi. Come on. No, it is a thing that's circling around. A lot of teams hovering it to summon the spirit of Uzi, give them some strength in the game.
For a legend coming back to the league.
But speaking of showing some strength, Jitoi and Zora will be piloting the Jinx and the Blitzcrank respectively. If you wanted to upheave a little bit of JDG's game plan, that's how you do it.
Well, for JDG, I think this is right now a pretty tough team to crack if you're going up against what anyone's legends have already picked. I mean, you have a Vi ultimate that's going to be walking straight into a Nico, and this has been something personally for me. I think Blitzcrank so far has been super impactful. Obviously, this champion just has a one-hit pull, and you just call it. You get that pick for yourself. But when you're anyone's legend, if you can start off a team fight with a numbers advantage, you're feeling super comfortable. You're feeling a little bit more invigorated to say, hey, maybe we can win these fights. Maybe we could take down JDG.
I do like the point-and-click precision that Kanavi will have with the Vi, though. It does give him a lot of options, and when you give Kanavi options, that's where JDG find wins. We do have a lot of focus from them in the second phase of bans. It is the Kha'Zix and the Viego towards Xiao Hao, so taking away a lot of those aggressive picks that we said could be the potential win for AL in this draft. But we actually see that focus towards Knight for AL. So far, that Ahri that he goes to so often.
Interesting enough, more and more of these mages being taken away. I wonder if they're also going to start to reach for more mobile mid laners, because with this Blitzcrank, I think if Knight is going to pick up something like a Syndra to try to slam lane, that is something you can use to really take control of this. Getting rid of Kennen tells me that there's a potential Scion in ZDZ's future here. And for JDG, you need to be thinking of ways of what our champions are going to be pretty okay with dealing with the Blitzcrank. Things are going to be able to disrupt not only the Nico, but the Jinx. And I love this Gragas here for 369.
I think that can be pretty huge, but it also is flexible. I think we could see the Knight 369 flex with the Gragas. I was wondering if we were just going to get 4 bans towards Knight. Luckily, the Kennen comes through, so just banning 369 there at the last second, so Knight can't be like, oh, you need 4 bans, huh? And as we get into it now, though, there will be a counter pick available for JDG. Again, they still have a little bit of that flexibility, so the confidence pick comes through. It will be the Gnar.
Ooh, okay. Well, the Gnar here for ZDZ, we've been seeing more of this champion pick up the Hullbreaker, and especially into Gragas. I think this is a fantastic option. It allows you to really chase Gragas in the side lane, and as a champion, even if he's going to go tank, if he's going to go for AP, it is very difficult for Gragas to deal with the minion wave. So I like this. Being able to stack this does give them an out into the laning phase, and for anyone's legend, I love this Nocturne. Gives you threat onto this Aphelios, and on the side lane early on, if you want to play for top side, this is perfect up against with this Gnar.
Really appreciate the focus to ban out Xiao Hao, but he still finds the Nocturne. He will have, at level 6, a big spike to find things, and the combo of Nico and Nocturne can be so deadly. The Malphite does come through, so it looks like we have that flexibility we were talking about.
Okay, it means that JDG, their mid-jungle, is going to have some say up against the relatively low range of something like Harder and Xiao Hao's Nocturne Nico. But come level 6, it will be pretty difficult. If JDG are going to continue their full court press, if they're able to grab priority, maybe grab an early enough tower, then AL will have a tough time breaking in. Yeah. But as it stands, coming in even, you get into that fog of war, you get set up first onto an objective. It is very difficult for JDG to go in without just using both of their ultimates topside.
I actually really like this pick from Knight. Earlier today, I was at LCS and got to watch JoJo pilot a
Nice
very
flex.
dominant Gragas in the mid lane, but this is Knight. This is the golden left hand of JDG, MSI champion, finally an international trophy to his name. And we're getting underway with a 5-win streak already in their pocket for JDG. Expectations are they win this series. AL, though, they've given us fights. They've taken games off of top teams and most recently BLG, and they do not want to give up the fight against JDG tonight. We're going to be getting into our second series now, and we heard a little bit about those focuses for the compositions, but it is all eyes on Kanavi versus Xiaohao for me, and Xiaohao needs to get to that level 6 mark as quickly as possible and start affecting the map.
Got to avoid Vi in the early game. And here now, JDG, we get that amazing skybox of their arena. Just beautiful. Honestly, I love all the different. Specifically, I will say LNG skybox when they're in their arena. Just perfect. Just beautiful. I love seeing all the graphics that they have there.
Knocking up Kanavi. Kanavi still connects it though. Pop Blossom on a 2, and
Ruler
Joey is firing away. He gets excited here. He's starting to turn up. Ruler is gone. Your savior for JDG right now in this early fight is already off the table, and Knight with no mana does end up having that body slam over the wall. But AL get first blood and another kill. They do lose the dragon, but they have successfully smacked JDG.
It is 2 kills and a lot of gold going on to Jichoyi. So if we're looking at 80 carries, it's feeling pretty good for AL. With that play, they come out ahead massively with 2,000 gold. It was a good start here for JDG where they're able to keep Xiaohao out of the pit. But after that, I mean, I love that Zora's getting aggressive on top of Kanavi, getting him low, and it is Harder's ultimate here that sets them up for a huge win.
Ruler does not have cleanse this game. You said it's enough to have the melee.
Late to this play, Kanavi here.
Face checks a little bit, says I need to dash out. We did get that TP exchange back to top lane, so side lanes will stay there. We get the grab in though. Maybe Kanavi's not the one you want to grab, but the paranoia comes out. Now they find it. Pop Blossom on the top side as well, and they are rolling away with this early fight. Kanavi had fallen missing very low. Knight able to make it out.
Knight just jumps over the wall thinking maybe he can help this fight, but it's more and more kills for anyone's Legends. They're going to be able to grab this wave under the turret. They're going to be able to grab the second dragon of the game. MSL, we wanted to see what anyone's Legends was going to do. Dictate the pace of the game to JDG. Do not let them lead you around the map. And so far, anyone's Legends, they've been hanging with the best of them for the time being. It's just that sleeping beast that JDG always are so far in the regular split.
See, Kanavi was actually the one that got engaged on initially, and they go back in for this one after Zora connects this rocket grab because you're a little bit extended, but they actually thought they could maybe take this fight around. The difference becomes when you get the overextended engage, but the paranoia picking apart the fight. Oh, Ruler's gone, and Jichoyi picks up that kill. That's Dragon for AL.
They'd already gotten the flash out of Ruler, so unfortunately, Mazel has both AD carry mains here. Flash does not help you versus all that damage. If their flash is down, if the cleanse is down, sorry, it's not going to help you versus Blitzcrank Cook. He immediately gets picked off. So 4 kills now here for anyone's Legend. A dragon in their pocket. And it seems like JDG playing to the opposite side of the map now. They're saying bot lane is a lost cause for the time being. We know Ruler is going to be a teamfight beast. Let's see if we can try to destabilize ZDZ.
That's where I do want AL to ride this high, but they need to take into perspective the beast they're fighting. ZDZ maybe didn't take into perspective how his top lane was going. Does have to pull that TP from Harder as they have Pop Blossom available. It's a big combo onto 3 members, but he's almost dead. Harder going down, but Mega Death Rocket claims one back. As ZDZ, that's a Mega Gnar coming up. He wants to go over the wall, but not going to follow it up. Paranoia was not available for Xiaohao either.
A 1-for-1. You even get an assist here for Jichoyi. Like, you're feeling good still. JDG, they get a counter punch, but still, grabbing the teleport out from Harder will change the dynamic of mid lane. We'll see how much of an effect it actually has. As we get a replay of this fight, oh, we get to see how Ruler lost his flash here. Maybe just playing a little too far up. Yeah, getting aggressive on Jichoyi.
Oh, man.
Oh, was it a predict? Oh, no!
Oh, man. Zora just had to wait.
Well, that feels bad. You're like, oh, well, that happens to the best of us. I was afraid here because you already see not only the ultimate coming, but Xiao Hao is making his way up here, and the Nocturne ultimate is coming soon. If that fight had overextended, there could have been more for anyone's Legends, but for the time being now, Rift Herald spawning in 30 seconds, and anyone's Legends are still holding on to this gold lead, finishing off on some of those camps. I hope to see JDG and AL fight for this next objective because the Dragon's coming up in 3 minutes, and you really don't want to give any more turrets or, any more turret damage over to anyone's Legends. You give one reset over to Jinx, there's more and more gold in your back pocket. Already 3 and 2 and has a huge bounty.
The fact that he also got that kill credit in top side from the Mega Death Rocket just feels really good. And the matchup itself could not be crazier, right? Again, this is an LDL carry from RNG Royal Club who came up for AL this time around. It fought for a spot with iBoy and really has taken the center stage right now as a developmental piece for AL. And he's facing up against Ruler, and he's 3-0-2. That's where I love that they're riding this high of aggression, but they also need to keep it in perspective. They need to drive this win home.
Exactly. That has been some of the biggest problems, especially when we're talking about a lot of our lower teams in the standings. They have not been able to necessarily close out a game. They found some early picks, they found some really good early game plans, but are unable to close out against some of our teams. So anyone's Legends, they need to be able to keep calm, cool, collected, while also keeping the pace up against JDG.
He will find a nice pace here onto the Rift Herald as well. Kanavi was just weighing his options. Looks like the option is going to be to just wait and find out what happens as time flows on. AL will have a Rift Herald under their belt here.
They can't do anything here. I mean, like JDG, their bot lane's on in a great position to answer. I think they're just afraid right now of kind of finishing some of the rest of these items, and they're not in a great position. 369 as well, taking a reset there. So Chicho man on your screen right there. The Jinx, what a great game as well to play Jinx. Like, you find one reset, your entire team is built for this. You get that one kill and you can take over a fight. You've already set Ruler down behind, who has been the man of the hour, the guy that every single team in the LPL has focused. It has been, there are so many clips right now of like Ruler having to play 1v3, 1v2 bot lane, and he's just either making it look good or having to wait for the rest of his team to really kind of bail him out of those situations. It is not fair for the King.
And you just love for AL the fact that they are in the driver's seat because it gives them that decision-making power with the composition that they have, and that's where you need to be, because the other side of that coin is not a good one. Speaking of coins, we're going to see a flip on the Knight here as Paranoia comes down. They should have the amount of damage to do it, and the cast saves Xiao Hao from taking an extra tower shot. There you go.
You know what that means, Lennon? There is more turret damage down in bot side, and it gives them priority for this dragon. Coming up in 30 seconds. Anyone's Legends are not giving up any space for JDG. They're saying, hey, Knight, you might have been resilient, you might be going AP, but guess what? We're still going to try and make that dive. And it feels unfortunate because even that Gragas barrel turns into saving Xiao Hao there.
It's actually so cool, the dance that's going on for AL right now. 369 has been unlocked a little bit. He's looking a bit rambunctious in the mid lane. As JDG is actually going to put pressure onto this, they do get the TP out from AL. That'll be harder rejoining the fight down here, but Dragon is on the table for JDG, and Rift Herald popped in mid lane for AL.
If JDG cannot grab this next Dragon, they see themselves on a timer 10 plus minutes afterwards. They're going to immediately start this up. They grab this on spawn, so they'll grab the second Dragon, set themselves up there, but this Rift Herald crashes into the mid lane, and it is more turrets, more structures here for anyone's Legends. Getting rid of this mid lane turret means that it's very hard for them to walk out of mid. They can contest for extra juggle camps, and I love that Ruler is just using the Calibrum there to just get some poke damage with the splash.
Dude, Zora is mind gaming 5 members of JDG right now. He's just hovering over there like, oh, you gonna walk away? They're like hovering to try to go to mid lane. Actually hilarious, and what this Blitzcrank kind of brings to the table. And I kind of love that representation from AL because they do have a lot of that pick out potential that JDG has fallen prey to so far. But as you had said earlier, the Dragon's secure there for JDG. For me, it actually means a lot. They're just continuously buying themselves time as we're going to look at Harder.
I loved how he just played outside of turret range. He gets the ultimate here for the shield and then flash to dodge out on the belly pop. I love that we're getting this.
Whoa,
We're getting another one.
Harder coming in with the play. It's not a replay, it's live action as it's AL. They get traded one back, but they find a couple more on the top side.
2 more kills, more kill credit for Jichoyi. They're going to grab this top lane turret as, I mean, anyone's Legends are playing a fantastic early game here, punishing JDG and maybe some of their lack of aggression. They do tend to lack in the early game, and Xiaohao saying, I'm going to double time on that. We're going to invade early on, put Kanavi on the back foot, and now they have a 6,000 gold lead here.
Looking pretty good so far for them, as that is the kind of early aggression we expect from AL, but we needed specifically against JDG, and we actually didn't get to see the whole part of this play, but this is how it started.
Okay, so ZDZ was just under the turret, and he's tanking it up. He's using that Mega Gnar. He doesn't die here?
Nope.
All right, ZDZ, respect. Respect that team for that one. Good job.
Throw some respect on his name.
Yeah, exactly. It does mean that Harder's the only one to die, but really, who cares? He's playing Nico, man. He's got the stopwatch coming up next. So anyone's Legends are just cruising.
Things to just fall into place for AL.
Right now, we're seeing the siege. The ZDZ's going to have another wave. Navi does go in.
They don't have an engage anymore. Zora is a little bit out of trouble here. Xiaohao is around the corner, but they will just leave Zora out. Meanwhile, ZDZ with this Hold Breaker is just taking down this inhib tower. He's going to need to be careful, take the inhib and run away as they're pushing down to tier 2 in mid. He's buying so much time, and they could be able to take an inhib tower as they are now actually going to back away with the rest of this Baron buff.
Oh, let's see. One last auto from the minions. They're auto-attacking, and the inhibitor is going to be safe. So big find there. Zora and ZDZ just too far up. If they're able to grab another turret, I think anyone's Legends could definitely maybe save him. But it's going to be a minute. JDG will now be in a very good position to be grabbing this 5th dragon. There's way too many dragons in this game.
There are.
I'm going to say, from what our first game was to now, we are getting much more action, a lot more dragon focus here, and look at what JDG are doing. They're playing aggressive. They're trying to get down vision and find another pick here.
Oh, Zora, you just came back, and now you're gone again. Knight gets the kill. I feel like right now, AL might get caught up in this, because it feels like there's somebody like a drill sergeant standing on the outside of their Nexus going, go, go, go. They've been redeploying every single time, going straight for fights, and that's where JDG can start to test your missteps.
But it only
nobody can answer ZDZ on the side. It looks like JDG. No, Knight, you're by yourself. It will actually be Kanavi that got the dragon, but it's Knight that's already got out by himself. They're also losing an inhib in topside, and JDG, they just don't have the decision-making power, and AL are making all of them.
They don't have the big stick. They don't get to wave around the big stick right now because
AL's like, I'm talking.
Yeah, exactly. This is my talking time.
Oh,
369.
engage from 369. Will it be a 9 or will it be a 3? It is to be decided. Harder's Pop Blossom goes wide. ZDZ's on the flank, though. Ruler is chugging away right now. It's a front to back now. JDG might be favored here as AL back away. ZDZ should get caught out, but Ruler with the caliber. Flash out from ZDZ gets him alive.
Okay. Big summoner spells here now gone a minute before the Baron. Jichoyi with no sums, no ghost, no flash, and no flash as well for ZDZ. On the opposite side, JDG are going to be looking, their ultimates are going to be up and available. They're going to be respawning in time. And that was as good of a fight as they were going to get here as Zora misses out on the flash hook. And we thought Jichoyi would potentially be going down here. He got so low. And it was just the fear from Xiaohao that stops Kanavi from finding the 80 carry.
Love that strike from 369, but AL know when to pull back for the most part. And now, as we come back to live, you see AL just consistently pushing forward. They also have 3 items coming up for pretty much everybody. You've got a Magi's completed for Harder as well. So their team fight is definitely there. And your saving grace for JDG right now is Ruler. Game is on.
Right now, you're seeing JDG. They're split across the map. AL are pulling them, stretching them thin, unable to do much. Knight kind of just
Like-
trying to, oh my god, harder.
Harder, preemptive strike has been engaged.
Oh,
They
the
do get an
heels!
order back though. They blow him out of the water. And now you got Jitoi going with 1 kill, but the G8 has been popped from Xiaohao. He goes down, can't get a trade back to Baron. Will end up going
he's
over
ending
to
the
AL.
game!
ZDZ's ending the game. He's got a couple more hits. He's so big on this Meganar, and he finished it. It's just it. AL, can he get it? One more, and that's game 1 to anyone's legend.
Look at CDC at the player cam. He gets excited. He gets ignited immediately. Anyone's legends. They've taken game 1 versus JDG. And expectations be damned here, Lennon. We've got a series on our hands. A situation where anyone's legends have 3 pushing lanes and there's nothing for your jungler to do.
Looks my button finally got connected.
There
and
you
it worked.
go.
We're in the draft. Game number 2 starting very soon. AL on that blue side we talked about earlier. Summoning the Spirit of Uzi. It worked for them in game number 1. Choi had a pretty heckin' game. We'll see if that summoning of the Spirit can help them in game number 2 as well. We did get that Jace ban, the Annie ban, the Yumi ban. They first picked the Ahri. On the other side, we have the Emilio, the Nico, and the Lucian. All those big focuses, but maybe right back to tried and true for JDG here. Aphelios first lock in.
Oh, they're slamming them. Jade a little upset with those bans. They're like, okay, with these picks, they're like, we're slamming these picks. We need to get what we want, and we know what we want to play. Kanavi does not want to take this loss. He looked angry up against RNG. They want to close this one out sooner rather than later. And it starts now for them. If they want to make that comeback, they need to be able to obviously win this game and go on, push us to a game 3. But we're pretty far away from that for right now. What is on his head?
They're cooling packs. You've never had one of those before? They're
no,
amazing.
Of course not. I'm a caster.
Yes, I've used those before. They're awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
They're really
Alright.
nice. They're very
Well, now I
cold. They're
want-
like gel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Does he
I
have them on
didn't
his
see
neck?
he has 2 around on his neck. I'm pretty sure they're only supposed to be for like your face. I guess not supposed to be. I guess they could, but you know, maybe looking at the new tech
It's
here
for safety.
in terms of the cooling pads. Now we are finished with our first phase. We did get the lovers duo down there for Jitoi and Zora and the Rakan and Zaya, but it was the Syndra locked in for Knight, a tried and true pick for him, but also jungle focus in the second phase for JDG. That Kazakh's off the table.
Yeah. You're already seeing it here. I love this for JDG. You already have a lane that you can play around with this, with this Syndra. Something that they could look forward to. And for anyone, they need to be looking for champions that are going to be able to get onto the immobile carries. Something like this Aphelios, something like this Syndra. So with the Vi already taken away, I think Wukong is definitely something that they could look for. I like the Nocturne takeaway, but Zell, see what champion did not get banned this time around.
There's a Scary Zeri.
Okay, that was not the champion I
Well,
was looking for. I was thinking more
that's
along
what
the
I
lines
wanted.
of like a Lee Sin.
But I wanted Zeri. You know, I'm
Why
trying
do
to
you
get
want
banned.
Zeri?
I'm
Oh,
trying
you-
to get
you-
banned.
okay, I'm gonna
no,
tell
I'm trying to
Jamada-
get
I'm
banned.
gonna
Yeah,
tell
because
Jamada that
we
you
have our
wanted Zeri.
ADCs. I'm just trying to get banned. Okay. I will say before we get to the rest of the picks here, out of 54 games on Syndra, what do you think Knight's win percentage?
74%.
I hate you. You looked at it, didn't you?
I didn't. Actually,
while
I
you're
didn't
going,
check.
No? Okay, well, you're right on the money. 74% win
Let's
rate.
go.
Here.
I unironically
Look,
guessed
there's some
that. I
cheating
did not
going on
take a
here. I
look.
don't know, chat. You gotta message Al, figure out how he's cheating
I
here.
literally, that was a free ball. Like I
Nice,
took a, I
nice,
just
nice.
took a,
Well,
I
look
took
at
a
you,
blind
big
pick.
brain. I love it. I love it. But as I want to dissect that big brain of yours a little bit more in this draft, we did get that Lee Sin that snuck through, made it through. The Cassante, also a very heavy meta pick that made it through here for AL. And on the other side, the answer so far has been the Renata and now the Ornn.
Ooh, okay. They're going for more and more scaling on the side of JDG, saying level 6, we will have some answers. But they do have some aggressive looks. Specifically, we need to see Knight and Kanavi link up, feel more and more comfortable. If we're going to be able to utilize that 74% win rate on the Syndra, you gotta start now. You have to be looking for plays. Kanavi with this Vi can get very easy kills, but it's not going to be, it should be the same for anyone's legends. You look at that mid-jungle duo between Xiaohao and Harder, they can find picks just as easy as JDG.
They truly can, and I think Xiaohao will be fully unlocked on this Lee Sin. Big comfort for him, but also just gives him a lot of that early aggression and decision-making power. And they have really nice lanes to play around. A lot of mobility available from the solo lanes, and that was a key aspect coming into this one.
I'm looking forward to this because we have been talking about jungle every single day here in the LPL, and today is no different between them. We wanted to see more power, firepower out from the solo laners of JDG, and this time it feels, specifically Knight, does have that available to him. But for ZDZ, getting away from the Gnar, now with this Cassante matchup for Ornn is incredibly difficult to play out.
Well, anyone's legend defied expectations in game number 1, but JDG have roared back to life with a very confident draft here in game 2. In their home arena, Beijing, Missing said he does not want to give any room for interviews for any team that comes and visits them. Well, it's time to put up or shut up and deny AL that here in game 2 because they have a very strong composition together. They have a lot of the meta picks that we have, but a lot of safety through bot lane as well. And the laning phase is going to be oh so important. We're looking at Kanavi, we're looking at Xiaohao, and how they bounce between these two solo lanes. And I'm looking to hear the Gyos ring loud and true for JDG, as hopefully we'll be loading in the Rift very shortly.
They need every bit of fan crowd sentiment. You need that crowd to be playing in your ears. And for players who have made it to multiple international events, for players who obviously have played in stadiums like this, they can kind of tap into that sixth man of the crowd. Give them a little bit more energy, play a little bit better. I always think back to the Knight interview where he's like, people might think, you know, whatever they want about me, but I've proven to myself that I'm a good enough player, and I am only going upwards. The challenges that I set for myself are more important than really whatever anybody else is going to be given to me.
And the big pieces that have been showing out so far are Jitsuoi, the new LDL carry, risen up from Royal Club in the bottom lane of AL, and Harder, the newest addition, re-edition rather, for AL, who's been really popping off on those pop blossoms in this series. We finally hit the Rift here, AL versus JDG.
So from the top, it looks like typical 5-point, nothing, no early shenanigans. Shout out to ZDZ and JDG with their composition.
Oh my God! Insect. Knight goes and flashes back, but the charm connects, and Knight goes down. First blood for AL. Give him that laughing poro, baby.
Beautiful vision from our observers there that shows Xiaohao with the flash kick to get Knight into an uncomfortable position. No teleport, no flash either on the Syndra. This is someone that they can revisit here. Zora's going to hit level 6 soon. If Knight comes back to lane, expect another play around mid lane, and with the Rift Shield coming up as well, that is someone that they could look for free gold in the future.
I was literally just saying, if AL can focus Knight, that's huge, because he's one of the threats now in this composition. And they do just that. Xiaohao gets that first blood, and that just means this Lee Sin with the whip completed will be back on the map looking aggressive as ever. We do have to refocus, though. 15 seconds for a Rift Herald spawn that I think AL would want to contest here.
A good job from Zora, being a good support as an AD carry is
Look
always
at
more
this,
important
man.
to try to get this. Yeah, he just does not have vision.
Oh, man.
Nothing for him to do. Nothing for him to do
you
here.
dirty, dirty man. Oh, my God.
Beautiful. And again, it will set them up for this top side as Kanavi shadowing his top laner, saying this is a moment for him, for maybe ZDZ to find me. I don't know if ZDZ actually saw him on the vision there. They're going to try and make this play now.
He does have a lot of mobility, but Kanavi cannot connect the distance. Doesn't want to get punished just in case Xiaohao was hovering, even though he wasn't. We do see the ping here onto the Rift Herald, though, from JDG.
Look at this already. Anyone's Legends instead focusing on the laning phase. Ruler by himself has both of his summoner spells. Zora now ticking over to level 6. Instead, what they're going to do, they're going to get their recall in, and now the onus is kind of on Anyone's Legend. If they're not able to grab this Rift Herald, it's going to be gold going over to Ruler as he continues to farm up. And JDG, they already have the priority in mid lane. They're trying to get Missing this level 6 so he can have that ultimate available for them when they go for this Rift Herald.
Yeah, hostile takeover is going to be a game changer in a lot of these situations. So you got to look at the angle that Missing's going to want to use. But the thing is, if you find a big cash out for Xiaohao, that makes the difference. And that's what I love going into this second game, is that we have a lot of options for both teams to play around.
No. They were trying to clear vision. I love how Xiaohao was playing in Fog of War, trying to not get spotted, crossing through mid, but it's just that one sneaky ward that Zora does not find, does not spot and clear. That allows for JDG to know that they are on the bottom side of the map. So what does Kanavi do? Finishing off his blue buff, he has a couple of options. Could go towards that top side and say, we're going to forego the dragon. It is in 2 minutes, so there is an option for them to do that. But it seems like both of these teams really want to index onto the bottom side of the map, make sure that they get that dragon stacking for themselves. And as soon as I say that,
yep, Xiaohao
wonderful.
should start this one up here, be able to trade this side of the map, as they have first move from Harder out there. And a little bit of presence from bottom lane from Zora. Kanavi's actually making a cross cut across the map. Go to this mid lane. Has the cease and desist, and Harder gets knocked back. Here comes the lockdown. It's a bait. It's a bait under tower. Gonna flash out of the charm. If he didn't, he was dead.
The entire time this is happening, thanks to ZDZ controlling the top side, Xiaohao gets the Rift Herald. So JDG unable to get much during all of this.
We also got those item completions here. Zora's going right for it. They're TPing on the back. This is the decisiveness. That one AL, game number 1. Chichoe is on the side. You got TPs everywhere. Chaos has erupted on the Rift, and it's AL taking advantage of it every step of the way. 2-0 now in this first game. That's a flash from missing. 369's gonna flash too. Take them all, because JDG are routed so far in the pressure game of this game number 2.
That could have been very easily 2 kills there, but 369 with the bellows breath saves another kill. Anyone's legends here are now very firmly kind of dictating the pace of this game to JDG, who respond to that play by grabbing the teleport out from 369. And we're gonna go again, Mazel. We're gonna be missing some ultimates. This is not anyone Legends time to make this play. JDG have all their ultimates available to them, minus the hostile takeover. This should be the dragon in favor of them. But man, they got an extra kill. Xiaohao is 2 kills up and has that bounty. Now they're gonna grab this Rift Tail, take it on top lane, and get Harder even further ahead.
Try to get as much in the wake of this dragon going to JDG. That is 2
no,
dragons
no.
for JDG. And that does mean their stacking potential is there. Knight has just TP'd to potentially his doom as Xiaohao comes around. Knight's realization has hit, but everything misses from AL. And now you got Knight turning around with 369 coming up here.
Wow, insane stuff. Good job from Knight to dodge out on those skills.
Ruler, he is looking for one target, and one target in specific. They
found him.
The knockup, the hostile takeover back, though. Ruler's still alive, and you better not miss if you're gonna come at the king. ZDZ goes down, and JDG get the dragon. That's huge, as the pick-up part selection was not there for anyone's legend.
Dude, this missing, Renata Glass is so perfect for this composition. We talked about how important that ultimate was going to be. The bailout here for Ruler. Every single ability had landed onto the Aphelios. But it is just 1 kill that goes over. Zora's just going to have to sit there. Kanavi gets his kill credit with this. The dragon goes over to JDG. And just how we had thought in game 1, we were waiting for JDG to turn the corner that they never ended up doing. Now here in game 2, they do it with a fantastic team fight.
They turned the corner, went back around, took the corner again here as the big kick doesn't actually get the combo they needed. And as you said, that hostile takeover, a big difference maker. Nobody could follow up anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really tough fight. The angle was good for Harder and but JDG, their front line, this Syndra, this Vi, the Ornn were standing in front of Chichoe, and there's all your damage. Unable to actually find that kill onto Ruler. Turns into 3, turns into the dragon for JDG.
Side, but AL trying to save his life here. He does flash out from that engage. He's buying a lot of time, but the Scat of the Week comes through. Cease and desist, locking him down. Harder's getting locked down on the other side. And there's the double knockup. Kanavi goes down. AL, they want to try to pounce out a Ruler. Again, they can't get him here. Nobody can really find him except for ZDZ, and ZDZ is just gone.
Oh my god. Like, the fact that they're able to sense that Xiaohao is obviously in there. He went for the flank last game. Here, they're going to be able to start up this dragon here. I love that Ruler is not moving over can just walk towards this bear and use the Calibrum to scout if maybe anyone's legend were going to go for it. But that's the sole point here, Lennon. And man, it's just slipping away ever so quickly from anyone's. As we get right into the replay, I mean, oh, he was on ward. No!
Oh! Well, you know what? It happens. He's like, oh no, I've been found out.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen anyone's legends actually go to start up this dragon, because there's no way you're going to win the fight afterwards, right? They're committing so many members to this side. They were trying to find this pick onto Ruler, and maybe that's some of that greed that they were talking about in the interview, right? We saw them, they're saying, we don't need to be greedy for waves. We need to be playing macro-oriented more around our team.
Left.
Okay, no jungler here for the side of anyone's legends. Means that this Baron is a foregone conclusion. A team fight miracle for the side of anyone's legends. That they're going to be able to pull this one out from underneath JDG.
Gotta try to get harder in there with that smite.
Yeah, I guess so. He's got that smite. It's the same as Kanavi for thanks to the levels. And no teleports available for the solo lanes here. Harder just trying to get in, but Knight and 369 are not letting it.
They're catching out 369 here. There's a hostile takeover around the back, though. 4,000 health on the Baron won't be the focus right now from everyone of JDG. As Ruler's trying to look for Titoe. Ruler over the side, though. He can't go down. Harder doesn't have the combo. He doesn't have it. A double kill for Ruler.
There it is, JDG. They're going to take the Dragon Soul that we saw earlier. They're going to grab the Baron. They're going to win the team fight. And Lennon, it is more than likely we are going to a Game 3 here between anyone and JDG.
So much hope, so much promise in Game 1 for AL. And JDG have woken up. They've got the comp that worked, but it's also the execution on the board.
That pick onto Zhao Hao means that it is so golden. Good job between 369 and Knight. They know their jobs. They know, hey, the early laning phase for Knight, not fantastic, but man, Ruler wanting, this is one of his specialties that we've seen all this year is, hey, if we're playing a split fight on some different fronts, I'm going to challenge the enemy AD carry to fight me, because I know that if they're uncomfortable, I'm in my zone. They're going to have to make probably some bad decisions.
For the fight, but also that 2.5 item spike. Now he has 3 items. And they're just knocking on the front door of AL saying, will you be able to answer us?
Plus they have the Infernal Drake, so all that damage that they're building is just turning into less and less likelihood.
Oh,
wow.
Zora missing, I thought was on the other team. Zora's missing now.
True.
As Kanavi overextending a little bit here, does get all outed back. A big shutdown gold goes to ZDZ, but the base is in tatters. The mid lane is burst open, and JDG with Baron minions for another minute and 30 seconds can look to end the game here. Xiao Hao's back. Xiao Hao's locked down, and Xiao Hao goes golden. See if they follow it up, though, with a hostile takeover, and it's Ruler every time. At 4-0 here in game number 2. He's looking to put some more here. Ruler's going for it. Ruler wants to take Harder down, and he's in the base of AL. He's going to get lasered. He goes down. Ruler's not alive, and JDG, they're scrounging.
Wait, are they going to play around their solo laners here now? Knight and 369 alive versus
Knight's still
legend.
so big. Knight's still so big. Oh, the ensemble, the block actually for ZDZ. Okay, it didn't matter.
Okay, well,
Knight ends up killing him anyways. And now it feels like a bit of an ARAM as we're just waiting for this Nexus to fall. JDG want the minions to end as they take one by one AL's life, and they take game number 2.
What an incredible win there. It felt more like the JDG we have come to know and love this year, as they don't let the early game. They said, hey, we are more than comfortable. We get right into our team fight pocket, and we're going to take control of this game. Great job from JDG and anyone's legends. While the looks were good, it just wasn't that same level of advantage that we saw from game 1. You know, we have some fresh LPL players who've been playing for a little bit now, and you have to, at a certain point, you're like, okay, we're getting comfortable into this game 3 scenario. Can we do? What is different? What are things that we have learned from our past couple of series, the games that we've been able to win? What has that gotten us? How do we replicate that experience?
Yeah.
And against JDG, you're looking at a whole lineup of veterans who have been in this situation more times than probably the whole team.
Well, back to JDG's home arena in Beijing we go. JDG will be on the blue side for this final game. AL on that red side. JDG ban away the Lucian, the Melio, and the Yumi. And we'll see on AL side, they got that Nico out of there, thankfully, and the Jace, and the Annie. All the bans going towards Knight. And we got a first pick on the table as Ari comes up big again.
Ooh, giving Knight such a proactive mid laner, something that gives him the ability to limiting wave as well as find solo picks onto a side lane. Much different of a look compared to what we got in the past couple games. Excited to see it as anyone's Legends, they can keep it pretty flexible if they want. I love that we're getting the Gragas, has some of that flex potential. Getting a strong AD carry, that Jinx is perfect. It is designed, will not have the peel, but any kind of Jinx composition, it's single kill for a game to be turned on its head.
Yeah, you can just ride that momentum. And I actually appreciate the Gragas pick here, as well as the flexibility. It just has a lot of space making that can be said in a lot of the team fights that JDG's looking to take. They will get that classic combo, though, of the Ahri and the Vi, which is already so deadly on a single target. And then they also get Ruler the Aphelios yet again.
Now, for anyone's Legends, they could go for their jungle pick. It is the most likely. They could also slam support here up against a Knight, try to take away something, get something that will be able to answer the Ahri, the Aphelios, as this Nautilus comes in for them. Now, bans for anyone's Legends should be focused on supports, getting rid of more of those enchanters. Lulu should be probably first up, but Missing's Renata is actually going to be taken away immediately.
Got to take away what is still available and what was still strong. You don't want to deal with that again. We also get the Kha'Zix respect ban towards Xiaohao, which I do expect to continue to see jungle bans from JDG. Xiaohao has actually been a pretty big focus from JDG so far in the series.
They've been making sure that he can't do it. You saw 369 in the interview say jungle is their core, the part that we need to be looking out for as JDG. And by giving him as many bans as they probably want, probably feeling very good about that. Getting rid of the Braum now, what do JDG go for in terms of the support pick here? Because there's not very many options left. With AOL, with the draft coming back onto their side, they're going to be able to pick. That Gnar ban is critical, as that was something we had pointed out right before, after game one.
Also shows that they're thinking this Gragas maybe going over to harder this time around. There's still some very aggressive center junglers to be had on the picks, and oh well, there's one of them. Xiaohao's gonna be whipping out the Kindred.
Good way to survive. We're talking about getting the Vi to engage onto the Jinx. Well, now there's a Kindred ultimate. What do you do at this point? JDG going to need to be very aggressive in the jungle, try to get this Kindred off the mark, but doesn't have mid priority. I wonder what the mid laner here for Harder is going to be. Could end up still being that Gragas if they want to survive the laning phase. Really trying to see what 369 is going to pick up here from the top.
You know, we were talking about underdog stories. We're talking about this, that, and the other. Expectations defied, re-honing in on expectations. Well, Xiaohao, this is a first competitive Kindred for him, at least on stage, that is recorded, which I just love, taking into Kanavi, who himself is a Kindred enjoyer in his past. And the fact that you have the confidence to do that, right? That is something from the get-go that AL has not been shy about. They don't feel like they're a worse team. They feel like they can take the fight toe-to-toe to a Titan like JDG, and they grab that tried and true combo that I feel like we haven't seen in so long, and it's the Galio with the Kindred.
You know, I was going to say it's been a while since I've seen a Galio, but the Thunder Talk versus Ultra Prime series made me watch a support Galio. So it's not as uncommon as maybe I would have liked, but it is pretty rare a sight to see this for Harder. A much more supportive mid laner here, going to be taking away a little bit of damage. So expect for ZDZ to be going for that AP Gragas build. This magic damage is not very good on anyone's Legends here.
But that's the thing. We put so much focus on this jungle setup. The mid-jungle duo is as important as ever, getting control early in this last game. And you're going to have a bit of rolling momentum from anyone's Legend side.
They need to find a kill. They need to find a pick. They need to be able to get Kanavi off on the wrong foot, maybe do something a little bit akin to what we got in game 1, where you saw we saw Xiaohao get right into the face of Kanavi and stop him from being able to do anything on the Vi versus the Nocturne.
We set expectations a long time ago, it feels like, at the beginning of this series, just 2 games ago, going into our third. But at this point, it is that best of one you highlighted earlier. It is anyone's legend taking the fight to JDG, while JDG are on a bit of a momentum swing up in game and out of game, sitting at 5-0. They are Titans as strong as ever, and AL need to climb that mountain once again. We're in game number 3 now, JDG versus anyone's legend.
Let's see if anyone's legends have brought the dynamite here. I love it. You know, we talked about, hey, bringing out the Kindred against Kanavi feels like a lot of confidence coming out from them, coming out from Xiaohao, and they also pull out the Galio. Like, we're in new territory here. We talked about how mid lane has been a facilitator role, but this is a completely different look. As DD in, I mean, I was gonna say if they could get any further, Kanavi is right there, ready to go in.
I just love the confidence from ZDZ. He says, I know 369's there. I'm going to trade with him a little bit. Let's see what his health bar can take. But I do want to also focus in the style of approach for these mid laners. Yeah, the spellbook from Harder, which has provided them a lot of potential changes going further. And AL looking for a level 1 that JDG has sniffed out. Missing Caesar coming around the corner. And Knight 369 will be here to answer. We could have a big tussle on our hands as Missing goes around the corner here too. As Ruler, you've overextended anyone's legend. That's going to be punished immediately by JDG. The flash comes through. They're not going to commit anything else here, but Missing might go for it. There's the ignite and one more auto attack. First blood to JDG.
5 people participated with that kill. Everybody got a piece of the pie there. That's every summoner out of the from Missing and 369. Zora just going way too far up. We thought maybe there was going to be able to find something, find an additional bit of dunk onto someone, and we wanted them to play aggressive up against Kanavi, but now it completely backfires for them. Shichoyi will not have access to this bottom lane wave, and arriving late just means missing on that level 2. We talked about how difficult Shichoyi has been in lane to kind of get any kind of leads, and this is definitely not helping.
Hopefully Zora can make the difference there, but they'll definitely be playing with a little bit more confidence on bottom side now for Ruler. But Xiaohao transitioning up towards this top side of the map, maybe going for that 50-50 on the top side scuttle here. Get those early stacks going. Again, an importance that needs to be remembered going forward is that Kindred stacking and how this is going to play around these duo matchups. I expect Xiaohao and Harder to link up consistently.
Well, they need to be able to move out of mid lane right now. And Harder caught.
Yeah, Harder's in a bit of a rough one. Not hovering on his side of the jungle matchup there, and he just goes down to Knight. As Xiaohao might actually have an angle here. ZDZ going to bait him out. 369 feeling confident, realizes there's something gone wrong here. Somebody smelled me out. And 369 going to make it away, maybe? No, one more auto, and even delays it for a second as Xiaohao gets AL on the board.
That'll be 2 marks here for Xiaohao, and a great time for a reset out of ZDZ, who's looking to get bailed out of that after an insanely good trade for 3-9. Zora and Missing now hovering around mid lane. No one else but the supports here. They're trying to make this play in a Knight.
Ooh, Charm doesn't connect there. Nice little moment, though, because it forces Harder to flash.
I don't understand what they're looking for with that trade, just because...
To fight, man!
I know, but they have the...
I know you're new here, man.
Okay,
we fighting, all right?
I know. Back in the homeland of North America, we'd be resident sleeper right about now. They don't have a lot of damage. Harder did switch to the Ignite, but it's a Galio who doesn't have a lot of AP, who actually went for the Merc trades first. That item, I mean... Maybe they're trying to bait for a flash out of Knight, but really, I think overextending themselves on the side of anyone's legend, and they're feeling that they're getting a little bit more desperate for everybody that isn't Xiaohao.
But it has to be, right? Like, you need to try to find any advantage you can, because you know what happens after that 25-minute mark. Your nightmares, whatever your worst feeling is, that's what's going to come to life, because JDG are just that lethal when you get to those big deciding 5v5 moments that take good macro decision making ahead of time to execute.
Well, 3 minutes now. Let's see how they'll set up this dragon. Zora.
There's the flash from Zora to try to get Knight. Ooh, Knight going to be engaged on here, and a huge combo comes through. Now Kanavi all by himself in a 1v3, just trying to get something back, but cannot. Another mark to Xiaohao. And AL, they're punching back.
There we go. That's exactly what we want to see. Knight just being way too aggressive in that position. So now what's going to happen? Anyone's Legend, they're going to be able to grab the Rift Herald in topside, immediately move that down, and be ready for the dragon in its time. That was a pretty big misplay and a window now for Anyone's Legend to be back into this game. Be ready for this. Let's take a look at what happened. Coming out of base. Oh, okay, wait a minute. 1K, 800. Oh my god, that's so close.
The flash, that's so clutch from Kanavi. And what would you expect from an MSI, a winning jungler, and a key component to JDG's moments when they find a lot of that early success as well? But it's still AL.
Ruler here, maybe even find a kill onto ZDZ. The ultimate is coming up, is available. But
they're just hard tanking this turret. Kanavi has taken 3 shots. There's a 4th. They will go down as the combo finally comes through from Harder and Xiaohao. Mega Death Rocket goes a little bit wide there, but Kanavi has given his life, and now the Rift Terror won't be able to be used up here.
Exactly. That is a massive misplay, and when Kanavi respawns, the timer on this Herald is going to be very short. He's going to have to drop it almost immediately, leaving base. I mean, the Rift Herald's going to expire soon, so Kanavi has to spawn this. Maybe trying to look for, I mean, he literally just has to use it. It's going to go down a little bit. There's a bear and a Mars bear. There's a dragon already being started. Ultimate to pull away JDG.
That is actually a moment that Kanavi could go in. He's not going to pull the trigger there, but AL will. They're going to go straight in, but getting engaged on by Missing, who hits the backline with a big grand entrance, but they can't follow it up. Now AL in a bit of a front to back. Zora is able to tank out, but here comes the Moonlight Vigil. Ruler's trying to make the difference. The shots ring out, and Ruler finds the kill. Zora getting low on the fight with the Lamb's Respite, though. It's getting a little bit low for AL, and ZDZ gets chased down. Ruler wants to find the last shot onto Zora, and he will, but it's actually Knight that gets that double, and huge fight win, a clean ace for JDG.
Just take a look about in the replay. The charm as well from Knight pulls members out of the land so that they can find these kills. Insane stuff from almost every member of JDG. They know exactly what they need to do in these team fights, and it's their job that they execute perfectly.
And AL just can't find that clear-cut move into the fight, and they get caught waiting for it.
Oh, there, right? Like, they knocked them all out. They got their kill. We talked about that clean ace. How is this Rift Herald still available for JDG? That is the longest cooldown. Even when we want to be challengers to some of the best teams, we don't feel like we're anywhere below them. I have to hold this as Kanavi's on a flank, has not been. Whoa!
Engage, engage, engage. Missing, going in. You got the reset, though. Jatoe, he's on fire right now, but Ruler wants to step up to the plate. He does get all those chakrams. That means AL should back off here. That red-white Ruler is looking for the fight, but Harder will be able to position a decent amount of tankiness here, and ultis that are still available for AL means they want to take this Rift Herald fight. It's crazy to me. We're getting such contested fights only 16 minutes in. That Rift Herald goes down, but I don't think AL can get the eye. Here comes 369. Ruler still has the Calibrum and the chakrams. ZDZ wants to claim it. He does get it, but Knight should get this reset here. And there goes one. 369 on the other side. Knight can't find that charm, but 369 finds the all out. And right as the heroic entrance comes through, Ruler able to Gale Force him down.
That game one was a blip on the radar for them, as Kanavi, I think, trying to flash ult. Yeah, and just a little bit of a mechanical misplay coming out from him.
That's a lost vision at the last second. Man, Ruler is literally the front line right now, though, which I think is crazy because AL, they are in such an awkward position.
They're now sandwiched. They were trying to maybe start up this. Who picks it up afterwards? It is going to be going over to ZDZ, and we've seen this fight already. Let's take a look at this dragon, half health here. ZDZ, coming in on the back line, but Ruler has just now arrived, and they have the Rift Herald in mid from JDG.
We didn't get a chance to see the item completions. We don't know how these fights are coming down, but it is obvious that AL want no part of it in any way. Second dragon to JDG.
I love that, and the Rift Herald isn't anything, so JDG just have their cake and eat it too at this point. They're even gonna grab a mid-tier 1. It is all going to here for anyone's legend, as they're unable to make any kind of plays right now. ZDZ sitting on a side lane. They're gonna go right onto Gragas.
Going golden though is buying a lot of time. Does still just get locked down to hell, and Knight picks up another one. That's more pages in the book.
No.
Spirit Rush activated, and here comes Knight one more. No, not gonna go for it. There he goes.
He's
Body slam
dead.
back. ZDZ. He goes golden though, and he's too good because Mystic steps up. Mega Death Rocket not gonna get through. Mystic,
what are we doing?
What is happening, Knight? You just injured your team, man. He tried to TP out, and AL fully capitalized on that bad boy. Harder's in trouble though, and that's an all-out 369 that actually connects onto Xiaohao. He is just a non-tanky marksman, and Joey has to step up and say, guys, chill. Ruler's like, nah, fam. No, I don't want to. He goes down. Lamb's Respite comes through, but the Moonlight Vigil rings true as well. A double kill for the measuring stick of the LPL.
I love the gumption from Knight, and maybe if Nightmare was here, he'd be able to tell you how bad this Ahri build is in terms of the damage. But guess what? He's not here right now, and we get to see Knight try to build himself. I love that ZDZ tries to go for this, and this should have been Knight backing up, walking out of this. Didn't think that Zora would be here.
Missing your G.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens with that's just the natural interaction with the battle dance coming out from Rakan. He ends up behind his ally.
Still have about a minute and 10 for that dragon. It just means that JDG
this.
are looking for fights as much as possible. Harder doesn't have any way out. He does go for that taunt back. You got a bit of a fight back. Can Zutoi get on fire here? He cannot. You got Knight getting some Spirit Rush stacks here. Can't connect another charm. But JDG find what they were looking for, and even more, with 2 kills.
But I think it's just too desperate. They don't even know that it's happening right. They can't walk over the solo lane.
He body slammed into the charm. Knight's like, we'll take that fight all out for 369. He's fighting Zutoi, who doesn't have any mana, and he goes down. Knight's ripping him a new one here. ZDZ's out, but it's a catch on Azora. Baron Capes are overwhelming anyone's legend. Disparaging, and you see some of these moments where it's like, okay, how are you fighting these kinds of situations? They are a team that is a different trajectory than JDG. They are a team that is looking at development, trying to find the right pieces for themselves, while JDG are bound for world champion status, right? Like, they are very, very different. And the fact that we do see a longevity fight like this going the way of JDG just feels natural. You're trying to find that consistency with this team for anyone's legend.
And I love it. I love the fact that we have seen some aggressive. But there's just another fight, man.
Can't stop. At this point, we can just keep talking while JDG pick apart the remaining pieces of the carcass that was anyone's legend. Zutoi goes down. He may be a rookie's org, might be opting in to the developmental strategy, but JDG know where their sights are held, and it's on a 6-win streak in the summer split. They might have fallen coming in. You might call it some MSI hangover, but they are no longer that. They are dominant. They are a huge force to be reckoned with, as our defending MSI champions will take a 2-1 victory over anyone's legend.
There we go. Final touches there. Unfortunately, they lost in their home arena, but can't be mad with a victory
no interview,
at the
though.
end of the day. No interview, like we said, for anyone's legend. They're going to go ahead and do that walk across the stage, do some congratulatory for the opponent, do their bows. What a fantastic job from JDG coming into this game. They have bounced back completely. We obviously expected them to win, but the fight that Anyone Legends was showing throughout all of these games was valiant, was, you know, something to be applauded. And we've been talking about their full squad. Well, I'm excited to continue seeing how this squad evolves throughout the season.